welcome to another Pony Express broadcast by Mark Dillon Jr. Let us start this show by bowing our heads for a quick prayer. Thank you, Lord, for another day of doing what we love. For this gathering of sim racers, and for the chance to pretend to be real race car drivers. We ask that you watch over these sim racers and their families as they gather together to enjoy the hobby of sim racing. May their spouses and children enjoy dinner, bath times, Netflix, and bedtime stories without them. May their calibration stay true, their racing rigs hold together, and their connections stay strong. May they treat each other with respect, avoid bogus black flags, and nail some green flag pit stops. May they return every night to see their friends and teammates, to click drive one more time, and to partake in the camaraderie that comes with being a part of the sim racing community. Father, we also ask that you guide and protect our veterans and their families as they make sacrifices so that we are able to spend a few hours in front of our computers trying to be like the king or the intimidator. And lastly, may we all have
Drivers
fun,
to your
win or lose, in your name. Amen. Now please rise and remove your hats as we join a fellow sim racer for his version of the Star Spangled Banner on guitar.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Pony Express Broadcast Network coming to you live for a fourth night in a row from Rolling Thunder Gaming. Tonight it's the RTR Aero88 series, the Slow Graphix 200 season finale live from Michigan. Joining me in the booth tonight, I've got Tim Nofsker. Tim Nofsker for the third night in a row, and making his broadcast debut, Hank Middleton. Guys, how you doing?
great pleasure to be here.
Good to be here, sir. Absolutely.
Now, as we see qualifying wrap up, Jeff Zupta was actually messaging me today. He said he ran a 41.541 to take the pole last time they raced here. He sent me a qualifying video today of him doing a 41.399. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get that video to work properly to be able to show you guys a qualifying run. But looking at the board, it looks like Zupta wasn't able to run that, to duplicate that 41.3. And it looks like Rick Moon's 4 is going to hold up for the pole.
That's a strong lap by Rick Moon. If that's indicative of how good he races here, he'll be one to watch.
Well, and so let's just get it started right now with I'm going to tell you, I'll go first. I'm picking Jeff Zupta to win the race. He's 12 points out of the points championship, and I know he showed me the video proof. So Jeff Zupta is my pick for the win.
Okay, well, I've given this some thought, and after watching this car tear his way through the field on Monday night, late in the race, I'm going with the 018 of Robert Bauckham. He's starting back there, but I really think he's going to be able to work his way through the field and make a charge for it.
Well, guys, I'm going to say this. I'm going to go with a points to Herman Reese. And if you look at the stats for the past 14 races, he's got 10 top fives. Out of that, he's finished second 3 times, won twice. And one of those wins came from Kansas, starting 27th, finishing first. So I'm going to go with the points leader. I think he's got his act together. I think he's got this.
That's kind of a cop-out. No pun intended.
Just saying, hey,
Well, Herman is.
I think he's your man to look at for sure, absolutely.
Well, Herman will be starting 25th, so he's going to have a lot of cars to pass. It does look like we're going to have 25 cars take the green flag tonight. Great turnout. Yeah, coming into the night, Herman is 2 points ahead of Jeremy Jeffries and 12 ahead of Jeff Zupta. In the series within a series, we have the Challenger Series. Rusty Little is your points leader, 4 ahead of Brian Ordo, 14 ahead of Sean Lockyer. So both of those championships are within 12, 14 points. So with 25 cars, anybody could still win either of those titles. And then the Eliminator title, you've got Herman, Bob Dixon, and Brian Ordo. I'm going for the 71 Brian Ordo to take home the Eliminator title tonight.
You know, that's a good pick. Brian has been in the mix in every race that we've televised this week, and I really, really think that he's just on the verge of breaking through. So I'm hopeful that he can do it. So I as well will go with the 71.
And I gotta assume, since Hank thinks Herman's gonna win the race, Herman would therefore win the Eliminator title as well.
Not that I'm being biased, but I'm going to give Herman absolutely. I think he's the man to watch tonight for sure. And like I said, looking at his stats, and he's consistent. He's got a great race team. I'm going to give it to him, absolutely. Of course, Herman Reese and Jeffries, they're both starting 25th, 27th. So I tell you what, that draft's going to be pretty important tonight, guys, as well, to get to the front.
I think it's going to be important for those guys to just be cautious at the beginning, stay out of trouble, and hopefully they can work their way up through the field methodically and be there at the end.
Now we're gonna be running 100 laps here at Michigan tonight. Something that this series does that I've never heard of anybody else doing anywhere in the sim racing community, and it's a good thing. I think it's really unique and very, it's very cool. Makes it realistic. Here in the Aero88s, 100 laps at Michigan tonight, these guys only have 4 sets of tires after the ones that they start the race on. So tire strategy is huge in this series. But someone who can elaborate on it even better than me, we're going to talk to Tony Fox here. He is actually the head of this series. Hey Tony, you there? All right, perhaps Tony stepped away. We'll wait and
I'm
see
here.
if he. Oh,
Oh, he's there.
hey Tony, we wanted to get a word with you. As the admin here of this series, perhaps you could better explain the tire rules that you guys have.
Well, basically, we wanted to make this series a little more interesting by having to where just not you go out and you just run wide open the whole time, but instead of having a little twist to it, where you had to save your tires a little bit and then come down to at the end of the race, sometimes you had to have your tires to where you could have them last longer. So you can run as hard as you want to in some cases, but you have to give up your tire wear. And then there's strategy involved with and like sometimes with an accident, you can actually stay out with your tires or pit and get tires, and then you have a mixed up field of tires throughout the field, so it makes it a little more of a challenging twist to it.
Hey, Tony, it's Tim. So let me ask you this, because I know there's differing strategies when it comes to this tire management. Are you the kind of guy that wants to save a set in case there's a late race caution, or are you the one that kind of plans when you put tires on throughout the race?
It depends. Hang on a sec. It depends on the track. Depending on how the race is going, I try to watch what everybody's doing. And if it's a rough kind of race, I would try to save tires. And I kind of look at the track and the tire as a whole, and then I base it on how the race is going, how the car feels, how the tire wear is, and I kind of base it on each individual situation. So there's always a varying strategy, and most of the time I like to save tires to the end, but there are times that doesn't work. You get hung out the end of where you're off the pace with old tires and you have a new set left in the pits you can't use. So it just depends on the cautions. You have to look at the history of the race, the number of cars in the race, and various things that play a part into it, and you just kind of base it on each track individually.
Hey Tony, it's Hank, man. Let me ask you a question. We know tires is a factor in this, no doubt, but in turn laps, do you think fuel mileage could play a big part in this? What do you think?
Michigan is a track that seems to play a big part in, but again, you have to work with your fuel mileage and your tires. So again, if you're good at saving fuel and tires, then you can actually come out with a situation where you may have a set of tires left, but you've got the fuel to make it to the end. So this is a good series. It's a very interesting series with a lot of different varying strategies, and it just makes it for a good overall race.
Well, you qualified 10th, Tony, so how you feel about that?
There's a lot of good cars in the back. I am a driver that tends to try to save tires, save fuel, and I don't just run out and run wide open. I tend to fall back a little bit and then kind of wait and see how the race kind of unfolds and then adjust the driving as it goes on. I'm not the fastest driver. I just like to kind of be cautious and be there at the end.
Now, Tony, Herman Reese, Bob Dixon, Brian Ordo, eliminator title on the line. Whoever finishes the highest out of those three. Do you have a pick? Who you think's going to take home that eliminator title?
Any one of the three can win it. I think Herman probably has have very good skill sets as far as these tracks, but again, anything can happen, and any one of these three drivers have done real well on various tracks, and this is a track that they all do well on. I kind of have a lean toward with Herman with his skill level on this track, but again, see, all the drivers are good, so anything can happen.
And Tony, before happy hour runs out here, anything else you want to say about this series before we get this race underway?
I'd like to say a special thanks to Terry for just putting up with the whole series and getting things going. Very good to work with. I want to thank all the admins that play a part in the race, and thanks to all y'all guys for putting the race on, and we're looking forward to a good race.
All right, we appreciate it. We appreciate you coming in here and giving us a little bit of your time, and we'll let you get down there and get your car ready, and good luck with your race tonight.
Thank you very much, guys. Hope you enjoy the race.
All right, so that's Tony Fox, the head admin of the Aero88 series. Also, Terry Bowman, RTG owner. This is his series. And then we also want to give a shout out to Sean Prime, David Cannon, the other RTG owners, as well as Race LM servers for providing the server over here at RTG. And obviously, I want to thank Tim and Hank for taking time out of their night to climb in the booth with us.
It's my pleasure, sir. It's good to be here. I tell you this on a note about Tony Fox. I've raced with him, God, a very long time, and you couldn't ask for a nicer and polite gentleman and professional as he is, for sure. Just an all-around nice guy.
We see the final seconds ticking off of happy hour here. It looks like Brian Schilling is going to reign supreme in happy hour. Jeff Zupta was fastest in practice, but Brian Schilling with that 40.7 has officially run the fastest lap of the night so far. And Jeremy Jeffries right there in second, though. He is 2 points behind Herman Reese for the championship. And Jeremy will be starting in 27th. They'll actually be starting in the row behind Herman. So both of them are going to have a lot of traffic to deal with tonight.
Yeah, those top three there, right next to each other in the practice and happy hour. Wow, pretty impressive speeds there.
And then we see the 018 third in happy hour. That's Tim's pick to win the race. Robert Bolcom, he'll also be coming from the rear. So some very fast times in qualifying, but some very strong competition starting at the back.
Yeah, I think the 59, the 8, or the 59, the 8, they really are going to come to the front quickly. I think they really don't have a choice being that far back. I think they're going to have to.
Sorry, guys, had some technical difficulty there.
Welcome back, sir.
Drivers, to your cars.
I thought I'd give a little history on our buddy here, Hank. He's our resident law enforcement
Drivers,
officer, so,
to your cars.
Keeps us all in line.
Try to anyway, right?
And if there are any women out there watching, Hank is single, so we could turn this into a matchmaking race.
That's why I love you, Tim.
As the drivers climb into their cars, I want to point out something. We've got something very special tonight. Making its broadcast debut is the Pony Express Broadcast Network pace car. Bruce Fallon over at ECT painted this up and sent it to me, and so we've got a brand new Pony Express Camaro Z28 pace car that's going to be leading these guys around the track tonight.
Very nice.
Drivers, start your engines.
Now, Mark, you said you took a few laps during practice and the setup's tight?
It is. The setup is very tight. This isn't something that you can just flat-foot around the track. Not only are you going to be wanting to manage your tires out here, but you've got to lift, period, to make these turns. And I wasn't in a draft, so it's definitely going to be letting off even more as these guys are up in the draft trying to make these turns. We were looking at about 22, 23 laps on a tank of fuel.
I'm hopeful that we get some green flag pit stops, because if you can nail your entry into the pits and get in as quick as you can certainly pick up spots on the track by having a great entry to the pits. Unfortunately, in prior races, we've had guys try to get a little bit more than they can handle, and they end up hitting the wall that separates the pit road from the track. So that's going to be something to watch tonight.
You know, looking at that new pace car, it actually looks like Hank and Tim are. Looks like Hank's driving and Tim's riding shotgun.
I know, right?
That'd probably scare me to death. I'm not sure I want to ride with Hank.
I'm a safe driver, I promise you.
Well, Hank being a state trooper, I'm sure he's doing those reverse donuts and stuff. He's probably got all kinds of skills driving.
A few here and there.
But here we go. The pace car is off. Rick Moon, Jerry Walters going to lead us to the green flag.
Good start there, 7 there.
Yeah, Rick Moon with a great start. Rick Moon got his first ever TV win Monday night in the bare bones.
Looks like Jerry Walters may have missed the shift on the initial start. He dropped back initially, but it looks like he's got it wound up now.
Here comes Bob D in the 143. He's going to take over P3. Jerry Walters looking low.
3 wide on the backstretch.
Yeah, it is. RV. Oh, caution, wreck. Big wreck behind him.
Oh.
One car going over several times.
That's going to be trouble as these guys
Rusty Little.
These
Rusty
guys,
Little was involved in that.
Rusty Little, your challenger points leader, and these guys are running realistic damage, so it is not going to be forgiving.
Yeah, the 69 cars. Terry Bauman, Sean Kerrigan, they're out. They're out. The 12 car Lance, he's out for the night. So we haven't even done one lap, guys, and we only got 3 cars already retired for the night.
That's
may have been a little early to try that 3 wide move, I think.
That's going to be a heartbreaker for Rusty Little. 4 points over Brian Ordo coming into the night for the challenger. Perhaps light at the end of the tunnel for Brian, though. I don't want to jinx him, but I'm really pulling for him tonight to win some type of championship. So here we go. They've caught the Pony Express pace car. We're going to head over to the caution rewind screen. I'm going to go back and get you guys a view, as this was quite a big wreck on lap number 2.
It's like a 028 to 15 maybe get me contact and start all that.
And here we are in the helicopter getting an aerial view. We see Sean Kerrigan. Looks like he just got a shot from the rear. That Tony Fox. Man, there's so many cars I can't even name them all right now. But yeah, you see Rusty Little end up on his roof there, and his night is over. That is 23rd place finish is not how Rusty wanted to finish off the season, as he was running for that challenger.
That's a really tough break for Rusty. He's had a good season, and to have it end on lap 1 at the finale is just tragic.
Well, points leader got through that, and I think Jeremy Jeffries may have got a little bit of damage, but I think he'll be okay. You're right.
I was watching the 4-car Brian showing. He did a masterful job of weaving his way through that accident, and I don't believe he got any damage.
Yeah, it's going to be a big break for Brian Schilling if Rusty can't get back to the race.
It does look like, for the most part, all of the leaders stayed out.
I noticed the fuel mileage game has already started. A lot of the drivers that were toward the back are topping off every chance they get here, hopeful to maybe stretch it out on one of these runs.
Now, Tim, do you have a race outlook from the 39 car? How's his car running tonight?
Let me see if I can catch a little radio traffic from him.
One driver we haven't mentioned tonight, you see Terry Bombard up there, and that camouflage camel paint job. running in P6. Terry's Friday night Amish's Survivor Series finale will be live broadcast Friday night from Banked Martinsville.
Well, let's hope that these guys slow things down just a little bit here, with lap 1 already coming and going with a caution here.
Yeah, that was some heavy-duty 3-wide racing going on the first lap.
Let's caught a little radio traffic from Josh Metallic. He said that the setup, as you said before, is extremely tight. He said that it's difficult to hook the bottom at speed. He said he's going to be very methodical and careful working his way through the traffic.
You see the 39 is running in P9 right now. The lights are out on the pace car. We're going to go back to green flag racing here on lap number 6. Looks like Rick Moon has chosen the high line for this restart. Jeff Supta will be on the low side.
Probably a lot of viewers wondering why guys continually top off at the end of this caution period. And I'll tell you what, 1 or 2 laps can make the difference between you winning or losing a fuel mileage race, and it could very well come down to that.
Absolutely. Last night's race, 66 laps at Talladega, caution free. We saw a lot of different fuel strategies going on, and tonight, should this race go green for a while, fuel strategy can definitely change the outcome.
All right, guys, pace cars off.
And there we go, Rick Moon with a pretty good start. Here comes Jeff Supta on the low side, though.
Looking for the lead there.
One driver we haven't talked about yet is Terry Bombard. He's in the brown number 10 car, which is actually somewhat of a replica of his son Mitch Bombard's real race car, affectionately named Pooh, the Pooh car. But he is excellent at these cookie cutter 2-mile tracks, type tracks, and he might be one to look out for.
So as you can see on
Well,
timing,
Jeff Supta just takes the lead, guys. Doing what he needs to do to get this championship. In the lap, getting points.
we see we do have 4 cars out of this race, 21 cars left, all of them on the lead lap. Brian Ordo currently running in last place, perhaps trying to keep his car clean.
Good to see that Jerry Ward got a better start than that 31 car in third.
We see Sean Lockyer actually in the picture, the 115 running in P5. He came into the night 14 points behind Rusty Little. Obviously Rusty is out of the Challenger running, probably with a guaranteed 23rd place finish. So if Sean can pull a top 5 here, he would win the championship.
Well, we're on lap 8, and points leader Herman Reese is up to 11th. So start 25th. So he's slowly creeping up to the front there. Good deal.
And Rick Moon looking low for the lead. Jeff Supta though did get up there and get that bonus point. He's gonna need. He needs 12 of them over Herman to win the title.
To follow up just a little bit more on the Challenger Series, Lockyer is 14 points behind Rusty, who is out of the race, but Ordo is only 4 points behind. Given if if neither one of these drivers lead a lap, Lockyer will have to finish 10 points or 10 positions ahead of Ordo, actually 11 positions to beat him by 1 point.
Yeah, we see Brian Ordo running 20th right now and continuing to fall back. Not sure if he was caught up in that big wreck or not, but he's now about 6 seconds off the pace. So Jeff Zupta is able to hold off Rick Moon, maintain the lead. Here comes Jerry Walters looking low. See the 03 of Carson Cranes coming into the picture now. Everybody pretty much single file and just riding along right now.
Well, you have to remember that tire consumption is a big deal here, and you want to do what you can to make sure that you have tires left at the end of the run. You don't want to use them up too quick, so I think everybody's kind of in that long green flag mode where they're trying to conserve some tires.
Here we go, Robert Bolcom looking low on Herman Reese. Not gonna get there.
And not too far behind Robert's number 8, Jeremy Jeffries. Apparently that damage is not too bad from that wreck from lap 1, so he could be doing pretty good.
I tell you what, a little rear end damage here might help loosen that car up.
That's true.
What's going on the outside now? Number 8.
So the 8's on the outside of Bolcom as Herman Reese looking low on the 42 of Orlando. Not able to get there. It's so tight that these drivers, they keep trying to make that pass on the low side. It's just they got to get out of the throttle.
It looks to me like the preferred groove is definitely the middle of the track. You don't want to slip up out of that groove. If you get too high, you lose positions. If you get too low, you scrub off speed. So
we saw Jeremy Jeffries was able to get around Robert Bolcom there on the high side. Now Robert Bolcom looking on the low side. Brian Schilling right there as well. Back up front, we've still got the same top 3, but here comes Bob D trying to make a move on Jerry Walters, and he'll fall back in line. It's just these guys, I think they have to pass on the high side here.
well, I tell you, when we get to green flag pit stops, which I hope we do, you're going to see guys pushing it even harder. As hard as it is to pass on the track, I think that gaining spots in the pits is going to be key.
Richard
pit
Martin
is going to be the key to it all, Tim. I do believe that's going to make the big difference if they go green.
Richard Martin up to P7 now. Josh Metallic P8.
One thing we need to keep in mind is those who topped off at the end of that caution period, they'll be able to stay on the track another 5 laps. The only bad thing about that is when someone comes in and gets new tires, they're going to be quite a bit quicker than those who stayed out on old tires. So a short amount of gain may cost you more in the end.
And we do expect our leaders to make green flag pit stops within the next 7 to 9 laps.
So the 39 car, Josh Dalek's not wasting no time, gentlemen. He just passed 2 cars on the positions there in less than a lap. Now he's on the outside of the 115.
Yeah, that's I think that's going to be the easiest way to pass here is take the high side.
One thing about Josh, he's really good at conserving his tires, saving his car, and this is about the time in the run when that's going to show up. Those who conserve tires will start coming further to the front.
Well, you may have a new leader in the next 2 or 3 laps. Wait, the 99 cars are going in.
Yeah, Josh Metallic up to
quickly.
P4 now. And here he goes. He's just going to keep running that high line and passing these guys as they're not catching on. Make that P3. He's just putting them down. Looks like Carson Kranz has caught on to his strategy. He's up there running that high line as well with Richard Martin.
He seems to be running about half a car higher than anyone else in the corners, and it seems to be paying off.
Well, let's see. Let's see who's running the fastest lap of the race tonight. So far, it's the 43 of Richard Martin and the 4 of Brian Schilling. They're the only two who have cracked the 7s. Josh Metallic, the 3rd fastest lap of the night, though, as he's looking to take over P2 from Rick Moon.
This should be interesting to see if the 11 car will let 39 pass him and block him from the lead here.
Well, I guarantee the 11 is trying to lead the most laps tonight and get an extra bonus point as he tries to make up 12 points on Herman and 10 on Jeremy.
Maybe just a bit early to try to throw a block. He's got to look at the big picture of winning the championship. So if the 39 gets positioned, I'm sure he'll let it go.
And now here goes Josh looking
down
to
for the lead.
I think he's going to quickly find out that that's not the line you want to be on, because here comes Rick Moon on the high side.
Jeff Supta did a smart thing there. He noticed where the 39 was catching him, so he basically started running Josh's line to take away that option of pulling up on the high side.
And now Josh getting freight lined as he's stuck on that low line, drops back to at least P5. There's Rick Moon looking low. Now he's gonna get freight trained every time somebody tries making a pass low, they end up going backwards. But Josh Metallic now up to P5, back in his high line, and gonna try to repass these guys.
Back for the lead up there.
And Jerry Walters able to make a pass on the low side.
That's a strong move there on the bottom side there.
Here comes Sean Lockyer and Josh Metallic, though. Jeff Zupta moves up in front of him.
They're really starting to dice it up now.
Yeah, they are.
Meanwhile, it looks like Herman and Jeremy and Robert Bolcom have all kind of stalled around 11th, 12th, 13th place at the back of this pack. Everybody finding it very difficult to pass.
Well, I think all of them topped off at the end of that caution period, so they just might be waiting for things to cycle out here.
We are 3 wide. This whole 14 car pack now you could put under a blanket. They're all within less than a second. And we're only a handful of laps away from green flag pit stops. It does look like our leader's got some connection issues, though. He's side warping and disappearing.
That's a pretty tight pack up there, guys. Look at that. Neck and neck.
Looks like Herman has actually dropped off of the pack now. Perhaps he sees a storm brewing and he's trying to avoid it.
Well, there's going to be 4 wide for a second there.
Well, if you add in the caution laps, that we had, I believe that we should be seeing pit stops this time or next time.
No chat indicators yet. Here comes Josh Metallic looking low for the lead. And he will get it.
Good clean pass there. Takes the lead. Oh, 115, he just barely hits the wall there. Got a small two-car breakaway here. Yeah. 39-31 here.
I still haven't seen anybody stick their hand out the window. Oh, our second place keeps disappearing.
Yeah, he is.
So now we're perhaps finding out how much fuel these guys were able to save. And here we go, hands out the window. We're going to see our first round of green flag pit stops.
31 out of fuel with your face?
Yeah, I think he's out of fuel.
I think that might have been a sportsmanlike move. I know he was having connection issues. I believe he probably just wanted to get out of harm's way so he didn't ruin everybody else's night. Hopefully that'll settle down for him. He was awfully fast.
And it doesn't look like any of our...
Yeah.
Looks like only one car came down pit road.
I just picked up a little radio chatter. There's going to be a group coming in this time, and I believe the 39 is going to try to push it one more lap.
Here we go, we see Jeff Zupta slowing down. A lot of cars still staying out. But we see Jeff Zupta, Richard Martin, Jerry Walters head down pit road. So here we are, lap 28, only 4 cars have pitted.
Looks like you'll see some more this time.
Here comes Josh now. 39 car pit now.
Looks like Josh was the only one that came.
There's a group behind him. It looks like Crivello, or no, Carson, Orlando LeBoy, Greg Moon, Terry Bombard, and Sean Lockyer.
Yeah, the cameras here on the old Michigan configuration are a little off kilter.
Josh is done and out. He's going to beat everyone off pit road.
It'll be interesting to see where Josh comes out in relationship to Jeff Zupta. They're two of the best pitters here, and you'll see that Zupta probably gained some time on him.
There's Herman Reese getting passed by Jerry Walters and Richard Martin after their stops. Looks like right now Robert Bolcom is being scored as your race leader. He had not made his pit stop yet.
Looks like our points leader, Herman Reese, is in the pits. As well as the 018 of Robert Baugham.
We see it does look like Josh Metallic is has about a second over Jeff Zupta right now. But it looks like they're chasing Jeremy Jeffries.
Looks like he had a pretty good stop there, Jeffrey did.
Well, unfortunately, I think I jinxed Robert Baugham. He has lost fourth gear. He'll probably have to be forced to retire.
That's a tough break.
Jeff Crivello, currently your race leader, hasn't made his pit stop yet. Looks like Jeremy Jeffries will take that position once Crivello pits, unless Josh Metallic is able to pass him before then. Jeremy 2 points behind Herman. He could definitely use a bonus point here tonight.
Looks like the 80's real slow on the apron.
Perhaps pushed it
I guess
too
he's
far.
coming out of the pits. There he ran out of gas, but nope, he's back up to speed.
A points leader in 10th position.
And there we go. That was a lap lead for Jeremy Jeffries, so that's a bonus point. If the race ended right now, Jeremy Jeffries would be your champion by about 12 points. Well, nope, there goes Josh Metallic taking the race lead back.
Showing Herman about 5 seconds back from the leader.
I think Jeremy saw the opportunity to get that bonus point for leading, so I believe he'll be content to just fall in line and try to maintain his position in this lead draft.
Yeah, he's got Jeff Zupta in his rearview mirror, but he's got a 10-point cushion over Jeff, so no big worries there. So we've got a 4-car breakaway, and then you go back a little further to Carson Krenz.
Before those green flag pit stops, Brian Schilling was mired back in traffic. He must have had an outstanding stop.
Brian does hold the fastest lap out of the whole night so far. They're one of the only 2 cars to run a 7.
Brian's tough about everywhere you race. He's always one to watch. So he'll be one to keep an eye on toward the later stages of this race.
Eliminator update. Bob Dixon is in front of Herman Reese and Brian Ordo. Looks like after green flag pit stops, it looks like we have lost Robert Bokum, we have lost Jerry Walters, and Larry Ingram and Jim Gloud have gone a lap down. So we are down to 17 cars on the lead lap, with the lead pack quickly closing in on Manny Diaz.
was notable that Jeff Crivello stayed out quite a few laps longer than everyone else. He lost a lot of time on the track, but if he can continue on that fuel-saving strategy and get to where he has one less pit stop than everyone else, it could be a winning move.
Well, he's 25 seconds behind the leader, so I'll see how that works. And right in front of him is Brian Ortho.
Man, I suppose I should have, perhaps I should have taken Josh Metallic's money and picked him to win.
It's still pretty early. It's lap 38, so it's pretty early. Still pretty early.
Jeremy Jeffries all over Zupta's bumper.
I haven't been watching timing and scoring, but it seems like that second group of cars led by Rick Moon, it seems like they're not losing any ground. If anything, they may be gaining some.
Looking at the lap times, it looks like the last time by Rick Moon lost 0.3 of a second. We'll see what they are at the line this time. Oh, Jeremy Jeffries with a little bobble.
No, it looks like that second group lost about 0.3 to the lead pack. They need to get tightened up. The draft does play a part in racing here, and you definitely you want to get as close to that guy in front of you and help that group move forward.
Yeah, these front four running in the 40s. That other pack running in the 41s. They do have the numbers back there, so if they can get it hooked up properly, they could perhaps chase these guys down.
It appears they only lost a tenth that time, but you know, when the 143 drops down to the low side like that, it kind of pulls that group back. They really need to get nose to tail if they want to contend for the win.
Well, and these front four perhaps about to pick up Manny Diaz as a 5th car to their pack. Lap number 42 here in the RTG Slow Graphix 200 season finale Aero88 Series Michigan International Speedway. We've only had one caution tonight. We've already seen one round of green flag pit stops.
This is like we had a 7th car retire for the night. Larry Ingram, he's not tonight.
So Jim Glaude, the only car lap down, currently in position for the Lucky Dog. Josh Metallic does now have Manny Diaz's draft. Manny's going to go high, let these guys go by.
I believe this lead pack will be able to stretch it. They should, around 52 laps, they should have to pit about then, which will leave them 2 more sets of tires for the back end of the race. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody tries to save those tires and keep a last set for a late race caution.
Yeah, the way this thing is going, it looks like we could have a repeat of last night with staying green the whole time, except for lap number 2.
Jerry's all over the back bumper of the 11 car.
Oh, Jeremy trying to make the pass on the high side.
So bring Schilling with him.
Jeff not going to let him get there.
As far back as the 11's running from the 39, I believe he may be trying to save a little bit of fuel. He may have worked out a strategy to maybe cut down his fuel consumption.
Alright, well, we're closing in on halfway. We want to try and do this before the next round of green flag pit stops. Every broadcast we do around the halfway point, we like to do a veteran salute. I'd like to thank Hank for his service in the Marine Corps, and I would like to thank all of the rest of the veterans out there, and we hope you guys enjoy this Veterans Tribute. We're back, as always, thanks to all of the veterans out there. Josh Metallic, Jeremy Jeffries, Brian Schilling, your top 3. Jeff Zupta has now lost the group.
I can only imagine that Jeff is either trying to save gas or maybe he used up his tires early in that run and you're making him pay now.
You know, looking at timing and scoring, this 3-car group, which looks like it might actually be turning into a 2-car group, continues to pull away from that second pack of cars. Josh Metallic, Jeremy Jeffries setting a blistering pace here.
Well, they may have used their tires up trying to run this group down. That's one of the disadvantages of getting caught behind. I believe Josh should be pitting in the next 2 laps.
And it looks like Jeff Zupta actually pitted. We see him getting up to speed. So Jeff Zupta pitting right around the halfway point of this race, perhaps trying a different strategy here. And here comes Jeremy Jeffries and Josh Metallic. Jeremy Jeffries hot on the pit road.
Wow, great entry if he doesn't get caught speeding.
That might be a penalty if he's not careful.
He was hot.
Carson Krenz, Terry Bombard, several cars heading down pit road. Bob Dixon, he's getting his first bonus point of the night. Not that bonus points count for the Eliminator title, but he is out there leading this race right now.
Well, if Jeremy didn't get busted speeding, that was an incredible pit stop. Sometimes you just have to throw caution to the wind and get all you can get getting in there. Hope for the best.
That was a very aggressive move by Jeremy Jeffries. He definitely was trying to gain some track position on the 39. It looks like Jeremy Jeffries did in fact come out quite a bit ahead of the 39 and the 4.
Jeremy actually is going to catch a break here. He has cars to draft with, so that'll make it difficult for Josh and Brian to run him down. Jeff Zupta is going to be in a little bit of trouble here. He really doesn't have anyone to draft with at this point, and when you're a single car running around there, it just costs you time like no other.
Any word on the 8? It looks like he pulled that off cleanly.
Yeah, I didn't see him going for a penalty stop, so he must be good to go.
Right now we see Sean Lockyer, Brian Ordo, nose to tail. Those guys are 14th and 15th. Brian Ordo was 10 points ahead of Sean Lockyer for the Challenger title.
I think at this point, Jeff Zupta may have to back up to that group behind him and see if they can collectively run down those leaders.
And it looks like everything has cycled through now. Jeremy Jeffries has inherited the race lead.
Yeah, Herman Reese versus Hardy. He's back in 11th, almost 20 seconds behind later. He's going to need a caution to catch up.
Oh, we see a lot of smoke.
118 in the grass.
But since he's off the race surface, we stay green.
Looking at the Challenger standings, this could be Brian's night. He is 10 points ahead of Sean Lockyer, who is currently a lap down. So if he can just stay just in front of the 115, I think he'll be able to claim the Challenger title.
He's actually only 4 spots behind Bob Dixon as well for the Eliminator title. 4 spots, but about 7 seconds, or excuse me, 27 seconds.
Well, I assume Bob Dixon hasn't pitted yet, so this could be a bad move on Bob's part. The longer he stays out, and if the 71 is on newer tires, by the time he pits, he could find himself behind the 71.
Here we go. It's going to be 40 laps to go at the line. Everybody pitted around lap 53, 55, so they pitted with about 45 to go. So I think everybody can make it on one more stop. I think you'll see guys pitting with about 23, 24 laps to go and be good to the green, to the checkered.
I'll tell you what, a caution would certainly change the game up here. It'll be interesting to see if we do get a caution, whether someone is willing to take a third set or not.
Well, I can tell you this much. Josh Metallic and Brian Schilling have caught Jeremy Jeffries.
Well, now you got 11 cars in the lead lap. Brian Orr just went down a lap in 12th place.
Brian Ordo and Sean Lockyer in this lead pack. They are both in position for the lucky dog.
I still think the best bet for Jeff Supta would have been to back up to that group behind him and see if they could do something with this lead group. He continues to lose almost a second a lap running by himself. I think in that case, 4 cars would have been better than just him bleeding out lap times.
We're 3 wide for the lead.
Right with a lap car in the middle.
Looks like Josh Metallic trying to get back on the point.
Brian Order getting his lap back temporarily.
And here comes the high side, going to roll right by the 39.
So now we got 12 cars on the lead lap.
Now, Tim, should we see a caution? You know, Brian Ordo, Sean Lockyer, they're battling for the Challenger title. How much of a difference does it make for, you know, Brian Ordo to get that wave around right there being on the tail end versus Sean Lockyer having to wait to pit as lucky dog?
Well, it really is a big deal. If he can maintain his spot on the lead lap, he would be able to just go around and join the end of the field and pit with the lead lap cars. If he's caught a lap down, he would have to wait till the second time pit, take the lucky dog, and then he would restart behind all of the cars. He wouldn't just be with the lead lap cars.
And as we talk about it, it looks like Brian Ordo falls to the back. Yep. So Hank, since we have you in the booth for your first time ever broadcast debut, any shout outs you would like to give tonight?
Just all the guys, RTG and Terry and all those guys, just good people, good guys to race with. It's an honor to be broadcasting and to have Tim as well. Great racer, enjoy racing with him, and all those guys. Just He's a great group of guys.
You'll be able to catch Hank in the Tally Challenge finale. He actually was able to qualify for the chase, so that was a good thing on his part.
Oh yeah, it's like Brian Schilling nearly hit the wall, lost control somehow, guy. He fell back way back. I'm not sure if there was contact made or what happened there.
One thing's for sure, he picked up damage.
I think you're right about that.
It looks like Brian Schilling lost his focus for a second, equipped the apron, and it shot him straight up into the wall.
Looking on the battle for the lead here, anytime. Jeffries is right on 39 cards bumper there. And Brian Orta has gotten back up there now to try to get his lap back.
Well, we saw Brian drop back, and then I think he may have realized that Sean Lockyer was up there, and that's who he's battling for the Challenger title.
Well, I think the 71 and the 115 need to focus on maintaining their position where they're at. They're both eligible for the Lucky Dog. They do take 2 Lucky Dogs in this series. So I would think that they need to maintain right where they're at and hope for a caution.
Closing in on 30 laps to go. Currently 11 cars on the lead lap. Herman Reese now up to 9th place. That is currently not good enough over Jeremy Jeffries in 2nd place. Herman is 1 spot behind Bob Dixon, though, for the Eliminator Championship.
And it looks like they're closing in on him as well. He's within 5 seconds of Bob Dixon, so that won't be too long before they catch him.
Yeah,
I think this next set of pit stops, guys, depending if Jeffries goes in hot again, doesn't get caught for speeding, that'll determine who's going to win this race or the championship.
This race.
Well, I believe we have some drama developing here. I was doing the math and I caught some radio traffic. It looks like these drivers will just barely have enough to get it on one more stop. It could be a fuel mileage race after all.
See, I was wondering, I know Josh and Jeremy pitted on lap number 53, which to me would make them very close to being short, but there are some other drivers out there, Rick Moon and those guys, I think they pitted a little later.
Right now, it looks like the 8 may have strategically let the 39 by. He's just riding, doing enough to stay with him, but he's definitely saving fuel.
Well, if he stays where he's at, he no doubt he'll have a championship. I think he's just cruising, just relaxing, just taking his time and not rushing anything for sure, Tim.
And here we are looking at the second pack. Jeff, Rick Moon, Carson, Terry Bombard, 4-car pack. These guys running P4, 5, 6, 7.
The
It looks like
leaders are
Herman Reese is going to catch the 143 in about 3 seconds, so is that far from that?
the leaders will definitely have to run this tank dry to have any chance of having enough gas to finish this thing out with one more stop.
which means they got to be very careful on pit entry. You don't want to mess up your pit stop when you don't have enough fuel to go around the track again.
That's very true.
Yeah, there's going to be some pressures on these pit crews. You can believe that.
We'll see if Jeremy's as aggressive on his pit stop this time.
Well, you know, going in that hot is definitely a risk versus reward type situation. If you can pull it off, you're going to be rewarded by coming out in the lead. If you don't pull it off, you could definitely mess up your whole race.
Looking at the lap times, the 4 car, an insane 47:04, nearly breaks into the 6s. Brian Schilling, hands down, the record lap time of the night.
A pretty impressive lap too.
So, do you got, you know, Brian Schilling has been there all night with Josh and Jeremy. Do you think Brian is showing his full hand, or you think he's saving something for that last run?
I'm afraid he has damage. When he pancaked the wall there.
It was like Herman Reese has caught the 143 and is getting ready to pass him as we speak.
I would bet that Herman Reese is praying for a caution at this moment. Right now, as it stands, he has no chance to win this championship. So he's going to need that yellow silk to fly in order to have any shot at Jeremy.
Here you go, Herman Reese making the pass on Bob Dixon for the Eliminator title.
That's for 8th place, at least. He's only 7 seconds behind the 11 car.
I see Jeff Zoop is already pitted. He may have some fuel issues at the end of this thing.
Yeah, it looks like 24 laps to go. The 11 makes its pit stop. 24 is probably possible. I don't. Here comes Jeremy Jeffries. Josh Metallic stays out. Jeffries hits pit road. Brian Schilling as well. Both of them. Brian Schilling locking up the tires. So Josh Metallic gonna go one extra lap and make sure he's good on fuel.
It's gonna be close for these guys on fuel. Aaron Reese pitting too.
And here comes Josh Metallic heading down pit road. He'll be making his stop with 22 laps to go.
You might want to make note of that one extra lap that 39 pulled off. If this comes down to a close race at the end for fuel, that one lap could make the difference.
The only thing that worries me is that Josh was out there by himself on that one lap, and so it was slower. Whereas Schilling and Jeremy are going to be able to work together. Jerry Walters joining us in the chat box. He said he saw Josh Metallic make some crazy ass moves out there that he didn't see anybody else do, and he believes Josh Metallic is the car to beat.
I'm afraid Josh Metallic may lose the draft to the 2 leaders. He has literally no help right now.
Yep, here we are. We see Brian Schilling, Jeremy Jeffries working together. Jeremy Jeffries, 20 laps to go, hoping this thing stays green so he can cap off an amazing title run. Here comes Brian Schilling looking low. Looks like he's...
Josh, catch up with these guys.
Looks like Schilling is going to take the lead. Perhaps Jeremy letting Schilling take the lead. These guys are close on fuel.
Is caution out?
Caution's out, guys.
Looks like the 10 is stopped up in the turn 4.
And so here we go. Jeremy Jeffries did not want to see this. Now we're going to see...
Sure want to see it.
Now we're going to see a battle. Only 2 points separate these drivers. I don't think Herman has led a lap. So Jeremy does have that 1 point advantage. So it's going to be a 1 point battle. We're going to tighten this field up, and now we're really going to see who has the best car out there.
Looks like Terry Balmore got loose on the apron, guys, and spun around and hit the wall. So far, a caution now. Second caution of the night.
Looks like this is going to put Sean Lockyer and Brian Ordo back on the lead lap as well. Those guys battling for the Challenger title, and Ordo battling for the Eliminator.
This changed everything now, guys. You can believe we're going to see some aggressive racing now.
Oh
Sure.
man, everybody pits except for Brian Schilling.
Well, that could be a strategy play on Brian's part. If they run 5 or 10 laps and have another caution, he'll have one set of tires left in his pits.
You know, I think Brian has, I think he's got about 8 laps on his tires right now. 7 or 8 laps.
Well, the points leaders up to 5th place. So our 3 points leaders are 3rd, 5th, and 6th. So they're right all over together. So it should be some interesting racing here, guys. Short and shortly.
Well, one thing to make a note of, everyone behind, including Josh Metallic, everyone behind him now is taking their last set of tires. So if they spin out, flat spot them, or if there's a late race caution, they won't have that option.
Well, something that we saw Monday night in the bare bones season finale, cautions definitely breed cautions.
Yeah, they do.
So this may not be the last caution.
We're looking at about 18 laps left, gentlemen. So anything can happen between 18 laps, especially at Michigan.
Well, we all know how late race restarts go too, so that could get dicey.
You know, a couple other extremely fast cars who are going to be right back in this race. Jeff Zupta and Rick Moon. They're right back in this thing, and they were very fast early on. Yeah, it looks like Brian Schilling, Herman Reese are not going to pit.
I expect Herman Reese is going to be pretty aggressive here. I think if he gets out in front, he'll be a factor, and with clean air, he'll be able to pull away to some level, I think.
I tell you, who I'm going to be looking for to be knocking them down on the high side is going to be the 39. He is. I know the 4's got the fastest lap of the night, but the 39 has looked quite dominating.
Gotta give credit to Jeffrey Jeremy, so that early damage from the first caution has not slowed him down one bit.
No, he's run a great race. I think Herman Reese kind of did what he had to do to get back in the championship mix. He stayed out. Let's see if he can hold off Jeremy. All he needs to do is finish two positions behind him to be the champion. Oh, I take that back. Jeremy did lead a lap, so he's going to have to probably be right behind him or beat him.
Unless he's able to beat Schilling on the restart and get a bonus point.
If he can lead a lap and just, like I said, 2 spots behind him, he'll be fine. We'll see. I think you're going to see some aggressive driving here, gentlemen.
Here we go. The lights go out on the pace car. Brian Ordo, Sean Lockyer come around. They're going to be back on the lead lap. Brian Schilling is choosing the high side. Herman Reese will be on the low side. Can he? All he's got to do is beat that 4 car back to the line one time to get that 1 point, which could be the difference.
Well, Brian's a smart driver. He knows that the middle groove is his preferred line. He'll be able to carry momentum up off of 2. I look for him to clear Herman coming off of 2, but anything can happen.
I've got to give another shout out to QQQQ Paint Shop, Bruce Fallon from ECT for painting up the new Camaro pace car for Pony Express Broadcast Network. That's pretty cool. I didn't even ask him to do it. He just messaged me and said he had done it and sent it to me, and so I definitely appreciate that.
I've run with Bruce over at ECT. He's a great guy and a hell of a painter.
Alright guys, coming to the green, be 15 laps to go.
Pretty good start here for Brian Schilling. Jeremy Jeffries is going to try to close that hole and not allow Herman Reese to get on the high line. Josh Metallic right there as well.
Herman looking low. And he's going to clear him. Take the lead. Oh, maybe not.
No, that low line, you just... I think I've only seen one pass on the low line all night, and it was by Jerry Walters.
Looks like Jeremy Jeffries made some contact with the wall on exit of turn 2, so that'll be interesting to see if he gained any damage from that.
So here we go. Oh, Jeremy Jeffries hard
again.
Tags it again.
And again. He may have a tie going down. 4 wide.
4 wide at the line. Jeff Zupta.
Wow. Second place in points on the outside of that too.
One thing to remember, Josh Metallic is on new tires. Even though the cars that stayed out only had 5 laps on their tires, that's still going to make a difference.
Herman Reese doing what he needs to do, guys. He's in second. Then McCarr falls back to 6.
Jeremy Jeffries has got to figure out how to get back in front of that 59. 14 laps to go. Oh, we're under caution again, so we're going to restack this.
Oh boy, here we go.
That means we're probably going to restart with about 10 laps to go.
I think we'll see the 8 on pit road this time. He'll get that last set of tires and certainly get the fenders pounded out on that car.
I'm going back to green and be almost 10 to go, so that should be interesting. Everyone should be good on fuel.
This is going to it's going to be interesting to see here if I think if Herman pits, Jeremy's going to stay out. Jeremy is.
Oh,
Jeremy's
he'll
got
have
to
to
do
fit with
something
them.
to.
He'll have to. With new tires, he'll need them.
I don't know. Jeremy's got to do something. He's definitely got to have some damage now. So he's got to figure out how to get in front of that 59.
I'd be absolutely amazed if the 8 did not pit right now.
The
Harmon's not gonna
59
fit.
stays out. 59 and 4. They're on quite
Just
old
two
tires
cars,
at this point.
3 on pit road now.
And the 8 is on pit road.
With 10 laps to go, I feel like Herman, he's made his bed. It's all up to Jeremy to get up there and get in front of him now. And it looks like we have lost the TeamSpeak server currently. So right now I have nobody in the booth with me. Luckily it was just TeamSpeak and not anything else. It should resolve itself. Still trying to get the cables reconnected in the booth here. Trying to get Hank and Tim back on the air. But that's okay. I've done plenty of these from the booth by myself, and if we're unable to get TeamSpeak back, I'm still right here with the action. We're gonna crown 3 champions and a race winner. Even if we can't speak to them. Looks like the 80 car, Jeff Crivello, is going to be your lucky dog. Looks like that'll put 13 cars back on the lead lap. Here we go, the lights on the pace car are out. Jeff Crivello, Tony Fox go around as your lucky dogs. That's going to put 14 cars on the lead lap. We're going to restart on lap number 91. It will be a 10-lap shootout. Brian Schilling has chosen the high line. Here we go. Green flag, Brian Schilling with a good start on the high side. Jeff Zupta up there, perhaps a little too high. And Herman Reese is going to take the race lead, get a bonus point. Perhaps Brian Schilling trying to battle back to the line. The caution is out. We'll have to see if Brian was able to beat Herman back to the line. And no, Brian Schilling beats Herman Reese back to the line. So still no bonus point for Herman Reese. It looks like now we're going to have about a 4 or 5 lap race. We're going to head over to the caution rewind screen, see if and while we're at the caution rewind screen, we'll see if we can't reconnect these cables to our co-anchors in the booth. And we'll find you a replay of what just happened.
Yeah, it's like Order came up to the 8 car and came into caution and caused a wreck. He is pit too.
And here we are taking a look at the caution replay. These guys were 3 wide. And that's going to be the end of Jeremy Jeffries' title hunt right there. That tough break for the 8.
That's really a shame, because he really did all he could do to try to win this championship. He stayed clean, he stayed out of trouble. That's just really unfortunate.
I wouldn't say it's over yet. Depending on what kind of damage Jeremy got out of that. There's a rule in the series where if you think you caused an incident, you have to do a pit stop. If he didn't get much damage, he may be able to weave his way back through there, and we will go back to green.
It's going to be crazy if Jeremy passes 14 cars in 4 laps. But
you have to consider also that, if Herman gets wiped out or spun out, it's still up for grabs.
right now it does look like Herman is in position for the eliminator as well as the points. And it looks like Brian Ordo is in position for the challenger over Sean Lockyer.
If Brian Ordo can pull this out, kudos to him. He deserves it. He really does.
That was quite the technical difficulties we had there with apparently somebody drove their golf cart over the communication cables running to the booth, and took a little longer than expected to get those fixed. But we're back just in time for the last 5 laps of this race. Luckily, it was just TeamSpeak and not the server itself. My pick for the win was Jeff Zupta.
I'm still back on a Herman Reese. I think he can do it. It's going to be close, but I think he can do it.
Well, apparently my jinx is still intact here. I picked Robert Bauckham, and he blew a gear. So if I can amend my pick, I think the 39's got something for him.
Yeah, that last restart that Josh had to start on the inside, this time he'll be up there on his favorite line on the outside, so he could definitely pull something off here.
I think Herman has to keep the big picture in mind. Don't do anything crazy. Don't put your car where it shouldn't be, and he'll be able to secure this championship.
I tell you what, that 07, and restarting in P3, he's going for his second broadcast win in 3 days.
All right, guys, one to go for the green. Be 4 laps left. 4-lap shootout.
Yeah, Rick Moon definitely benefited from the cautions, the way they fell. It helped him work his way back up front.
Now keep in mind these front two cars have about 22 laps on their tires. 20 to 22 laps. Not all of them under green flags. But they do have the oldest tires out there. We're gonna
I think Josh is the highest in the order that has the freshest tires.
We're going to restart on lap number 96. It will be a 5-lap shootout. These cautions have been taking 5 laps. So should another caution, these guys are going to want to make their move immediately because another caution on this restart is going to end the race.
Face cars off, gentlemen.
And green flag. Brian Schilling with a pretty good start on the high side. Here comes Josh Metallic though, looking on the high side of Herman Reese, trying to take P2.
Herman tried to squeeze the 39 out of line, but I don't think Josh was going to be denied with only 5 laps to go.
Oh, here comes the 11, Jeff Zupta. Right up into this thing. He's trying to make me 3 for 3.
I think Josh had thoughts of going 3 wide there and thought better of it.
Rick Moon just hit the wall. 3 wide now. Vic Moon, the 143. Mr. Martin.
Here comes Jeremy Jeffries on that high side. He's only got a couple laps to get ahead of Herman.
Herman's hanging tough on that low side, though. So he might get a bump here.
Oh, big push by Jeff Zupta. And the caution flag is out. This race is over. It's a race back to the line. Herman Reese is going to take it.
And there's your winner, gentlemen.
Herman Reese. Hank Middleton pops into the booth and he's batting 1,000.
I know, right?
I had 3 shots at it. I'm over 3.
On the week, I'm 2 for 4, and 500 is pretty damn good in baseball.
Oh, I can see they got pretty lucky on that. But looking at his stats, that was a good run. That was a good run by Herman there. Congratulations to his championship too.
So here we go. Herman Reese takes the race win, the Eliminator Championship, the Points Championship. 3 big titles for Herman Reese tonight, which means there's only one other to give away. And it looks like it's gonna be, should be Brian Ordo. Yes.
Finally.
Yes, Brian Ordo finishes 3 spots behind Sean Lockyer, so he'll still come out of here with about a 7-point Challenger championship.
What brought the caution, guys? Anybody know?
It looks like Richard Martin may have got loose going into 3 and 4 there and looped it around. Caught a piece, the 8 caught a piece of it.
Quite a dramatic finish here to the Slow Graphix 200. We went, man, what did we go? We went 88 laps, green flag, before we saw a couple late cautions.
Oh, a pretty good race, guys. Caution free until the last 10 laps here.
You know, Herman Reese never led this race until that race back to the line when the caution came out.
Just at the right time.
That's right.
Herman running the only Cadillac in the field. I think Tim actually gave Herman a nickname earlier in the week.
Pimp Daddy. Pimp Daddy comes through in the clutch.
That fits him perfectly.
Now this is just rumor, but I understand that Herman may find himself in the occasional men's entertainment club.
Is that right?
That was the most politically correct I could say it.
I'll have to ask her about that. Or what a great season for Herman. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, race 15, this would be,
You know, the funny thing about it, he was out of this race for 75% of it.
11 top fives. And what a great season for this guy.
Yeah, for about 80 laps, he was 20 seconds off the pace.
Sometimes you need just a little bit of luck.
Well, I mean, not only that, I think the 11 got a lucky dog, right, to come back and finish on the podium.
I think you're right about that. Well, I gotta give it to Jeff, Zucker though. He had 7 poles. He had a pretty good season himself. Only 12 behind, but 7 top fives, 4 wins. That's a pretty stout season.
It looks like I think Jeremy and Jeff Zupta are going to be tied for second place after this race. Yeah, an extremely tight battle between those 3 drivers.
Well, you know what they always say, if you ain't first, you're last.
That's right. Yeah. All 3 drivers, it's amazing. All 3 of those drivers only finished at the top 10 4 times. So pretty consistent driving for all of them.
Actually, hear Herman clutching. It's probably just out of habit. I know I do it out of habit. Every caution of every race I clutch. It's just a habit that I formed.
There you go, Herman Reese. Congrats on him on his championship. Brian Schilling finished 4th. Jeff 11th. Shoptalk 4th. And Big Moon finishing out the top 5.
Now, do you think Herman's going to visit one of his favorite clubs and make it rain tonight?
You think?
Well, he won the race and 2 championships, so he's gonna have some extra money to go around.
All in all, it was a great race. Had that early caution that took out some of the better cars, and big green flag run in the middle and caution at the end. It was exciting.
Yeah, it was great. We got the best of both worlds. A lot of green flag racing and some cautions to shake things up. We see Sean Lockyer doing a burnout. I don't know. I believe I'm pretty sure Brian Ordo won the championship.
It's good to see Sean Locklear finish 9th after being a lap down earlier.
All right, so we're gonna head over to Victory Lane. We're gonna get some podium finishers, some championship drivers up here in the booth for some interview action. You're in the booth. All right, starting things off, we're gonna go in reverse order. Third place finisher, the number 11 Jeff Zupta. Congrats on third, Jeff. Let me start with asking you about qualifying. You weren't able to replicate that 24-3.
Yeah, I figured you'd mention something about that. Yeah, I'll never guarantee a pole anymore. I'll never do it again.
But Jeff, overall, you had it looked like you had a pretty good race and a successful night. Obviously, you weren't able to make up 12 points on Herman for the championship, but you did come home in third, and overall, it was a pretty good season.
Yeah, a good race. Good race and a good season. A few problems here and there, but you got to be good throughout the whole thing to pull it in. But congrats to Herman for the championship. He deserved it.
Second place tonight, the number 4, Brian Schilling. I want to let you know you set the track record tonight with a 24.709, I believe it was. You hands down had the fastest lap of the night. Bring it home second. So close, the race back to the line between you and Herman.
Yeah, I seen Jeff there give Herman such a great shot going into 3. I was kind of a little bit gun shy going in there because I didn't know how well Herman was going to make the corner or not. And there's guys. I haven't run a full season since I think 3 seasons ago. I almost cleaned out Jeremy earlier in the race. I did not want to affect the championship outcome at that point. I was going to race Herman hard, but I was going to give him plenty of room and see what happened.
And then moving on to he won the race tonight. He won the Eliminator Championship tonight. He won the overall points championship tonight. Pimp Daddy, you have a lot to celebrate tonight in that Cadillac.
That Escalade was terrible in the beginning. And first off, I got to thank Jeff Zupta. He gave me the shot of the race down the backstretch. I think that when he hit me in the back bumper, it was so hard, that's what brought the caution out. But that launched me in there. When I passed on the earlier restart, I passed Brian. I pulled that slide job. I had my fist up. Yeah! And then we went into 3, and I went, no! And I just went to lead lap. I was calculating. I screwed up on the very first pit stop. That got me way behind. And I was technically just out. And at that point, I thought, well, I'm going to just try and hang on. And then the caution came out, and I decided work for Rick Moon on Monday night. I'll see if it works tonight. And I stayed out. I wasn't going to pit. And it paid off. And I know Jeremy was involved in that first incident. He did such a great job of hanging on and leading laps. And Jeff was up there leading laps, and I pretty much was out of it. And it was a fun race, a great season. I mean, if you go back and look at the points, these guys, you cannot make a mistake.
Well, I think Hank was telling me, Hank, what were you saying? Herman had like 10 top 5s?
I mean, he had a fantastic season, Herman. I mean, you had 10 top fives. You've finished second 3 times, won twice. You've only finished out the top 10 4 times. You've got to be tickled to death about a great season, man.
Yeah, it was a good season. I actually, I even missed a show, and it almost as good. I think last year, this is my second straight Aero, I believe, and it was almost the same thing last year. And just fortunate. I love the format with the tires and the strategy. I actually had Jeremy and I, we had one race where the caution came out, and I think Jeff might have won that race. Caution came out, we were on pit road, and I got destroyed out with like 5 laps to go, and I was second there. And but it was just Wednesday nights for me have been the most fun. I like racing the other series, but this one with the strategy and the drivers and the cars is just it's fantastic.
Well, just so you know, Herman, I'm batting 1 for 1,000. I picked you to win tonight, so just so you know, so maybe that's a good horseshoe.
Yeah, 10-4. They told me that, and then the first thing I said to Brian after the caution had come out and I crossed, I said, you just made Hank correct. And I think that bothered him more than losing the race.
Yes, it did.
I'm sure it did.
I picked the 11 to win. I was going for 3 nights in a row. It was pretty close.
I honestly thought that Jeff was in the ballpark, and it's so funny how this is typical. The guys that stayed out and gave up their track position and went and topped off there at that very, after lap 1, that paid dividends. And actually, I think Jeff was right on the cusp of possibly being short of fuel if it went green. And that changed his strategy. He had a short pit that one time, and that kind of took him out of when he was up in that front position. Kind of jockeyed it around a little bit.
And what about you, Tim? Any post race questions for any of our podium finishers?
Did you, and this kind of goes out to Brian and Herman, did you guys ever doubt the move to stay out? You saw everybody peeling off and getting their last set of tires. That would have made me a little bit nervous.
You take it first, Brian. I'll tell you what I thought.
Oh, I thought I was done. You see a whole, 8 to 10 cars behind you with fresh tires, except maybe 2 or 3 guys, and it's not a good feeling. Yes, it worked out for Rick Monday night, but the quality of guys here just, one little slip up, and they've got an advantage. It's game over.
I sort of was. I only had 2 laps on my tires. And knowing how important tires are, and that last run, I felt pretty good. I was like, wow, this thing didn't drop off, and I found the line that I wanted to run. But I pretty much, that was what you would call the Statue of Liberty or a Hail Mary. I looked at where those guys I was racing in the points were, and I'm like, I got to get track position. And more than anything, I just wanted to lead a lap to equalize the laps that Jeremy and Jeff had led. And I said, well, if I get lucky here and we get a couple of laps, and those guys were out of tires at that point, I said, if we get a couple of cautions, I'm right there. If we don't, and the caution comes out with 10 to go or something, maybe I go in and get my 4th set and try and take advantage. But I never doubted it. It was kind of the only shot I had because I was mired back there in the field.
Yeah, it turned out to be a winning move.
All right, so definitely congrats to Herman on the race win, the eliminator win, the points win. Our challenger champion, I'm not. I know looking at the standings, who I believe won. I think it was Brian Ordo, but perhaps some the NASCAR hauler is being used right now, and there's some discussion going on. So we're going to we're not going to crown a challenger champion on this broadcast. We'll leave that to be decided by the admins. And but anyways, the Slow Graphix 200 Michigan International Speedway RTR Aero88 Series Finale, Rolling Thunder Gaming, Race LM Servers, David Cannon Prime. I definitely have to thank Tim and Hank for stepping up here in the booth. Congratulations to our podium finishers. As always, thanks to all of the veterans out there. We will be back for a 5th season finale Friday night. Tomorrow night we're off. Tally won't be until next week. But Friday night we'll be back over here at Rolling Thunder Gaming for the Amish Survivor Series at Banked Martinsville with Mitch and Terry Bombard. And 30 marketing. That'll be a live show, so look forward to that one.
Well, as always, I had a blast. It's a pleasure to spend time up here with you in the booth, and hopefully I can do it again soon.
And actually, you know what? It looks like they're out of the hauler. Let me see if I can get a confirmation word from Terry Bowman here.
Aye.
Hey, Terry, we were wondering if you could confirm who the challenger champion is tonight.
Well, initially I made a mistake. I had the second and third place drivers switched in my head, and after refiguring and looking, Mr. Brian Ordo was the champion.
All right, thank you. We just wanted to confirm that. So congratulations to Brian Ordo on the Challenger Championship. It looks like he has already packed up his hauler and hit the road to beat traffic. That's unfortunate. I know we had a broadcast earlier in the year that Brian Ordo won, and his mic wasn't working, and we didn't get to interview him that night either. But definitely congrats to Brian Ordo on the Challenger Championship. Terry Bowman, this is your series. Any shout outs you want to give?
Oh, first off, I just want to thank all the drivers. I mean, they're awesome on Wednesday night. I mean, you see the green flag run we had tonight. Unfortunately, cautions breed caution sometimes. You get that caution with 20 to go and everybody's intensity is amped up, 200%. But that's the way races have gone all season long. I mean, we've had multiple caution-free races, one caution race. I mean, you don't race to the yellow flag here, on Monday or Wednesday. You race to the next green flag pit stop. And then I want to thank all the admins that do such a wonderful job here. And my co-owners, Bones and Mr. Prime. And then Race LM servers, they do an awesome job on these servers. Pony Express Broadcasting Network, you guys do a phenomenal job. And just everybody that supports RTG. We can't wait to get, actually we are racing next week, I forgot. But this is our season finales. And we got some fun races the next couple weeks, and then we're back to points racing, I believe the 30th.
All right, so there you have it. Yeah, we've Friday night Amish finale, next Thursday Tally finale. We've got the RTG All-Star race as well as the qualifier will be live shows, and we also have Terry Bombard putting on a 3-race mini-series later in the month, of which all will be broadcast. So lots of broadcasts coming to you from RTG this month, and we hope you enjoyed the Slow Graphix 200 here in Michigan tonight, and we'll take tomorrow off. Tally Challenge is racing though. Don't get it confused. You can race in the Tally Challenge tomorrow night. I am going to take a night off, and I will see you guys again Friday night. Thanks to all our viewers for tuning in. Thanks to all the racers and my co-broadcasters, and we'll see you guys Friday night.